Candace. How are you today?
I am excellent. Good afternoon, Dr. T. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Well, thank you for everybody that's joining us I'm about to say Sunday and Saturday. Girl, this
You ready for the weekend?
Friday. Girl, ready for the weekend. This Friday at little after 5, y'all. It's about 5:16. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a mental health minute with Dr. Candace Elaine and Dr. Tyra. So
Yes.
happy to have all of you joining us today. So,
Yes.
Dr. Candace, how you doing this Friday, girl? Now I got it.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I had a long week. My week was extremely long but productive. And yeah, it was long. It was productive. It was a lot. But I got through it. I'm blessed and I'm here. And I'm just ready for our show today. We got a good show today. We do.
I
We have an
know, right?
amazing show. But my week has been good. The weather's been good out here in Cali. I'm out here in
Mhm.
Cali, everybody. So the weather has been really good. However, it did rain 2 days, but we
Mhm.
needed it. So it's
Okay.
been good. So how are you and
Okay.
how's the rain? Do you have
Oh,
any rain?
I
No.
girl, did we have rain? Girl, let me tell you, everything is okay. Everything is okay on my end. I'm doing good. The week was pretty good. It was pretty busy, I think the first 2 or 3 days of the week. And then after that, things started started subsiding. And so by the time yesterday came, I was still jumping and hopping and busy, but now I'm just like, so I'm at ease right now. So that's pretty good.
That's
Because I usually take Fridays off so I can decompress and think about everything that was going on this past week, so I know what I got to look forward to for next week, and start planning and implementing and doing everything I need to do to make sure everything is straight and right.
absolutely. And I feel you on that because my
Mhm.
vacation is coming up. I can't
I
wait.
know.
March 16th. I don't know if the people know. Thank you everyone for joining us, but I don't know if you know, but I take vacation every 3 months for 2 weeks. I do because we have to. Well, I have to
Hmm.
for my mental and physical health. So I know when you say planning for the week, I'm planning for the week
Hmm.
and then some. I can't wait to vacation.
Right.
I cannot.
Girl,
Yes. So as I see
I
people
know
are
that's
coming
right.
in, hello everyone. Thank you
Yes.
so much for joining us and rocking with us. Share this live, share the repeat, share the live, tell everybody. Just send it out there. We really appreciate this, and we really, really appreciate everyone for rocking with us. We really do. Thank you so much for all your love
Yes.
and support. We're just so happy for them to be here. I know Dr. T feels the same way, and they don't know we was up late doing the anxiety group. They don't know that one.
Let me tell y'all, we was up super late. Let me tell y'all, I had to keep my eyes open, y'all. I had cute, what's some things called toothpicks on my eyelids, y'all. I'm sitting up there. Look, I see because Dr. Candace had me come to her anxiety group last night, which is awesome that she does once a month. And it was at 7 o'clock her time and 10 o'clock my time. Then while I'm doing the anxiety group, then I end up getting company over. I'm like, yo, y'all keep the noise down. Who gets company at 10 o'clock at night? Our house does.
I know. And
My
then,
cousin brought her new boyfriend over, and
right,
he gonna stay. And so my mom says to him, "Well, nice meeting you." He was like, "Oh, I'll be back again." My mom looked at him, really?
right. So you had company and trying to run the group with me, everyone, but it was amazing. I mean, they
Mhm.
love Dr. T. They come into your group on Monday because
Yes,
I closed the room. So I'm supposed to have more people, but I closed the room. So the
she
ones
sure
that I
did. She
closed on,
locked it. She
yes.
locked that Zoom, y'all. I said, "Well, damn!" But then all of a sudden, the Zoom acted up and threw me out. The Zoom put me on the curb, y'all.
But it was amazing. It really was. We had a great time. We went a little later because Dr. T and I tried to help everyone and answer
Yes.
all the questions because people need help. And we
Mhm.
we were there. We showed up. So I got some rest today. Did you get some rest?
Yeah, I did. I actually did get some rest.
I
And it was
did.
so funny because I'm on this no work on Friday, and I got an email of a list of new patients to start. And I said, all right, you know what? I wasn't gonna call nobody, but I said, let me call these people and get them set up for next week. I said, because this way I have my everything all allotted out. So and that's what I did today, and then I went to lunch with a friend, and so I had a really productive day of
Good.
doing pretty much not much of anything.
Good. Good. But accept our amazing show. Absolutely. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad
Yes.
that you had a productive morning. I rest all morning. That's it.
Hmm.
I dropped Joshua off, dropped off my son, and got back in the bed. I sure did.
Oh, well, lucky you.
I had to, yes, because I had a strenuous week. It was a lot. But I am
Hmm.
glad that you are doing well and everyone. So everyone, it is time. It is time. It is tea time with Dr. T. Everybody know that I call
Yes.
her Dr. T because she always got the tea. So now
Yes.
it is tea time for Dr. T. So let's get into it. T, what you got for us?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was so many things going on out here this past week, that I just said, oh, I said, let me see what we could talk about. So one of the things that happened this week that I saw in celebrity news, I saw the situation with Tamar Braxton. She was talking about on Instagram about how it says that she called to talk to her son. She called him 13,000 times while he was visiting with his father, and the father blocked the calls. He blocked her number, I guess, on the calls or whatever. And she asked, why do baby daddies do that shit, you know? So the question that they was asking on the Big Tigger show was, what would you, what woulda, coulda, shoulda, what would you do, what should have happened, and what could have happened? Now I know, a lot of mothers out there have a lot of things going on, you know what I mean? And sometimes they show concern from for their kids, as you should show concern for your children, right? Especially when they're out visiting, right? But when they're visiting with their parents, they need to get that quality time with that loved one, right? And not be too focused. Now, I don't agree with him blocking her number, because he could have, allowed the child to talk to them. And so that's when they had need to have in their agreement, when the child goes there, that he can call and talk to his mom once or twice a day, or she can call once or twice a day. Now, some people out there are excessive and maybe a tad bit extra. That you
Right
gotta,
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with that, because we do know people that will call people just to call them and don't have nothing to say.
Absolutely, absolutely. My take on
So,
that, T, let me say to the audience and to Dr. T, my take on that, and being a
mhm,
mom and, having a baby's daddy and have a husband as well. So I get that.
mhm, mhm,
When the children, this is my take, when the children are with the other parent, if you are co-parenting, trust the other parent. Yes, you can call to check on your child, but when it becomes excessive and you're constantly calling, then there's an issue. It's coming off personal. It's coming off, do you really want to talk to
mhm,
the child, or are you calling to find out things or to really get on the other parent's nerve? So
mhm,
I do agree with you that
mhm.
blocking her was a little excessive because things can
Right.
escalate. Because I know
Mhm,
you blocked me. I'm like, I know you lying. Did he just block me? Then things then escalated.
mhm,
So
mhm,
with that
mhm.
being said, my question to her is, Tamar, why are you calling 50 million times? Is there a problem that you are not trusting your child's father and you have to check on? Because any parent feels that way, where you have to constantly check on, then
Mhm,
maybe you want to revisit
mhm,
the visitation
mhm,
plan. There's something
mhm.
wrong. But if you just
Right.
call, what is the reason? That's all I'm saying. Like 50
Mhm.
million times or whatever she said, which I'm probably sure she
So
exaggerated.
she did respond on Tigger's page.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, on this V103 page about it, and she said she told people to tell the whole story. She said she had been calling her son for a few days on his phone, on the son's phone, and he wasn't answering. And she said she was on Instagram, and every time she goes to turn on her live, when she goes live on IG, her son pops up in her live.
Oh, okay.
And so she said, which she said, he always pops up in my live. I couldn't call his dad because I was blocked. It's irresponsible to block a parent when you have the child. Anything can happen. She said,
Absolutely.
I'm not the negative entertainment anymore.
And,
Because
and
people
I
was
believe
calling
that
her
it is
negative, you
irresponsible.
know. Right. But then we know kids. Kids don't half charge their damn phones.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
they do the most, especially if they don't if they have a if a kid has what's this a video
Oh
gaming
yeah, you can
system
forget that.
and they don't
Oh.
have to use their cell phone for their
Mm-hmm.
game. They
Yeah,
the
you can
hell with that
forget
phone. The hell with the phone and the hell with you.
that. Exactly. Yeah, you can forget
All
that.
we want to do. Yeah, they in a
Exactly.
whole nother world. I used to work with those kids. They in a
Mm-hmm.
whole nother world. They were like, I ain't charged my phone. Well, when
Yeah.
you charge your phone last? 3 weeks ago. And then they want to know why it's on 1%.
I know. So yeah, it sounds like it's
Mm-hmm.
miscommunication, but I totally disagree
Mm-hmm.
with the dad blocking
Mm-hmm.
mom because anything
Yeah.
can happen. Anything can
Yes.
happen. And now
Mm-hmm.
you done blocked her and the kid ain't answering the phone and then you blocked from the
Right.
father's phone, from the
Right.
parent, the adult's
Mm-hmm.
phone. So that's an
No,
issue. So
that's
hopefully
an
they work
issue.
that out. Absolutely. Hopefully they work that out,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they're both good parents and that child got all the
Right.
love that he needs.
Right.
But work that out. Don't be blocking
Right.
mama. And I hope she
Right.
don't parent.
Unblock her.
Co-parent.
Right. And I
Co-parent
definitely
is
don't
key.
want to. Yeah, because I definitely don't want to see her go backwards. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
She's
In that
doing
state of
well.
mind that she was in a few years ago, we don't want to see her go back.
Absolutely.
And and the thing is, and that leads into our topic that we have for today.
That's right.
Which is depression. Because this type of behavior can lead to depression. It can lead to
Absolutely.
anxiety. It can lead to suicide. It can lead to all kinds of stuff. And we
Absolutely.
definitely don't want to see her revert to where she was at, the place that she was at mentally a few years ago.
Exactly.
Everybody has a breaking point. You know what I mean? And so, you know, yeah. Alex says people also like the gaslight.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that has a lot to do with that as well. That's why I say
Mm-hmm.
co-parent, just co-parent
Mm-hmm.
in peace and like adults.
Yep.
Absolutely. You are so
Yep.
right. So you're
Mm-hmm.
right. So with that being said, so is that all we got for the tea with tea today?
Well, the other tea we got is
Yeah.
the young man, a newscaster out of New York that was standing on the corner, and his mama came pulling up. She said she had been calling him. He heard his phone ringing, but he chose not to answer. And so, because of that, she decides to roll up on him. So, as she rolls up on him, he's like, she like, hey, baby, embarrassing the poor kid.
And he's
And
a
I
grown
mean,
man, and that's her
he
baby.
is a grown man. He at his job. He look in the meantime. But what was funny was how he introduced her to his coworker,
To the cameraman. Like, this my mama. And she waving at the cameraman.
and she was like, "He's like, I know you've been calling me. I just couldn't answer the phone. I'm working. I'm working."
I love
And
it.
that was so funny.
I love it.
That was so
And we
funny.
need that. She was just
Mhm.
proud. And like you
Yeah,
said, and you said you hit a good point. Her baby on the news for good, for a good reason.
exactly. My thing is, moms catch a bad break. Parents and families catch a bad break. Moms and dads, when they turn on the news and they see their child on there for crime, you see your child on there for death. I mean, you know what I mean?
I
If
do.
your child is on the news for something good, let them
Hmm.
celebrate you. If they
That's
want
right.
to roll up on you, let them roll up.
That's right.
Let them
That's
say
right.
hello. Let them be happy and appreciate what you're doing. You know what
That's
I mean? Because if they're not doing it, nobody else is.
hmm
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
let them, let her love you up. And it was so funny because Sherry Shepherd, she's been hosting the Wendy Williams show. She put
Hmm.
out an ask the
Oh,
other day, which was to meet the mother.
oh,
And she said, I want to meet this mom. We need to have her on the show.
I love it.
So that we
Absolutely.
could celebrate her for celebrating her son the way she did.
That's right.
Even when he said, "Okay, now don't go stopping up traffic. You gotta
I
go,"
know,
and she yelled out the door, "All right,
right?
all
I love
right."
it. That was just that made my day when I saw that clip. That
Uh,
made my day because I have felt that way about my kids. My mom has felt that way about me,
mhm.
and I think as human beings, we all should be celebrated. And that
Right.
does has a lot to do with our topic today because when we're not celebrated, it can bring on depression, especially if you have
It
had
can.
some achievements and different things, or whether it's small, big, whatever it may be. And
Yep.
you just don't have anyone there, just that loneliness. He ain't lonely because mama
Mhm.
rolling up. Uh-uh,
Yep.
mama.
Don't think my baby by himself because he not.
I know, I know. So that
Mhm.
brings in. So we're gonna just slide on in our topic today, ladies and
He
gentlemen.
sure is.
Yes, yes, audience. And today we are talking about depression, all things depression, because depression is one of those things. Before we get into the topic, which we are talking about depression
Mhm.
is one of the number one diagnoses that many people have. And see, I know you know this. Statistics are saying it's over 18 million people that are battling with depression.
I believe it.
I
I
know.
believe it.
And
And I'm
you,
shocked the number isn't even higher
I was going to
since
say that,
since
especially
the
due to this
pandemic.
pandemic.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And now with this
Yeah,
issue going on in Russia and Ukraine.
I know. I know. That's bringing on more. Absolutely. That's
Mhm.
bringing on more. The depression, and, there's different types of depression too.
Mhm.
Depression, it starts early. But when I was looking at the statistics, because I'm a statistic
Mhm.
girl, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, I'm always going back to statistics.
Mhm.
And when I was looking at that, they were saying it starts early and it can. But now what they've
Mhm.
been saying between ages 15, even though
Mhm.
it can start earlier than that, but being diagnosed as age 15, where
Right.
they're on medication.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yep.
there's different types of depression. You have major depressive disorder,
Mhm.
you have persistent depressive disorder, bipolar depression,
Mhm.
postpartum depression, prenatal depression, which my dissertation was on, but it was and then also on seasonal affective disorder and atypical
Mhm.
depression.
Mhm.
Exactly. Now, in your practice, Dr. T, do you see which your the people that you consult
Mhm.
out of those that I named, those six that I named, which one
Mhm.
do you see the most?
Seasonal affective.
Okay, okay.
Seasonal affective. Seasonal affective and a few bipolar.
Oh, okay.
Seasonal affective and a few bipolar.
Okay, okay. For me, mine is major depressive disorder. Major depressive disorder and persistent depressive disorder.
Mhm.
And I don't think, no, actually, I know. I don't have any with bipolar disorder at
Mhm.
this moment, at this time. And
Mhm.
I have had some with seasonal defective disorder because a lot of people
Mhm.
battle with that and don't even know it. And I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you know that because you taught a class on that. A lot of
Mhm.
people battle with seasonal defective disorder, and it can be misdiagnosed
Yes.
very easily. Very
Very.
easily. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I have a question to the audience as well, and to you, Dr. T. Do you
Yep.
think people, because this has been on my mind lately, especially with what is happening now in our world and what's
Mhm.
going on with the pandemic, and just this has been going on for a long time. This
Mhm.
question here: do you
Mhm.
think people who live in the city battle more with depression? That makes you think. What you think?
It does make you think because you know what? When you think about the city and you think about um the hustle and bustle of the city, that's where you could say, okay, there is a lot of people that are suffering from depression because it's it's the fame, not really the fame, but you see people in, I guess, how can I put it? In higher socioeconomic statuses, right? Doing a lot of amazing things. People who are in lower economic status is not doing quite as much, financially. But people are trying to, how can I do it? Sometimes they like living out of their means, trying to measure up to what they see others are doing. They see people's lifestyles and see how they are operating, and they want to do the same thing. And because they can't make ends meet, because they can't do, that's where the depression seeps in. Not saying that is all brought on by finances because that's totally not true. But I can see where living in a large city versus living in a rural area, things would be a little bit decreased as far as with depression. What are your thoughts, Dr. Candace?
Yes, I get that. And I want to hear, we would love to hear from the audience as well. Type in, like, what do you think? Do you think depression, people that live in large cities battle with depression? My thing, I would like to say, and like, again, I'm a statistic girl, but I'm going off what I have saw myself and the people that I consult. I think it's 60-40. It's really close to me because I'm going to do the large city first. Large city, like Dr. T said, you got the hustle and bustle, you got all the noise, you got the ghetto birds. Well, I'm out here in LA, so we call that when it's the police helicopter. When the police out there, we call it the ghetto birds and stuff. So then you got the police in the sky, you got, you just the hustle and bustle, like you said, and we call it the concrete jungle. I'm from the D, I'm from Detroit. So, and then New York and Philly, that's the pavement, and it's busy. And so that can bring on a lot of depression because the mind isn't built for all that. It's so much stimuli. A lot of times, not sometimes, but a lot of times, your environment can cause certain psychoses or certain depression for you. It's too much stimuli from the hustle and bustle to the inner city to it's crowded. Too many people, too much noise, too many choices. Did you know? Too many choices. And when you're in a city, you have that because you have that right now. You have that instant gratification more in the city. So that's why I say 60% yes. Now let me pivot on over and go to the country life, the beautiful scenic country life. They battle with depression as well because I live in a beautiful setting now to where it's not country because I'm still in California, but the palm trees and it's a little bit more laid back instead of the inner city of LA. However, when you don't have those means, it can cause depression. When you don't have certain things, not saying that the people in the country don't, but it can cause depression because sometimes quietness can and loneliness kick in. So it depends on the person, but the environment plays a big part in where you are. Environment plays a big part on depression, a big part. Some people can battle with it, the quietness and the serene and just the beautifulness of the country life. And then some people like that hustle and bustle because that fits their personality. But I really truly think people in the city battle more with depression than people. And statistics have shown that as well than the people in more rural areas. The only downside to that, the people in the rural areas, they don't have that instant. We can go on up to the county or the hospital right now. They got a ways to go. You get what I'm saying? It's not that instant. We got a liquor store and a church on every corner. When you live in a city, it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as quick. So
yeah. But Alex made a good point too. He was saying nothing worse feeling alone in New York City. You got so much to do.
Absolutely. But
even with having so much to do, it happens.
Yes. And you know what? I'm glad Alex brought that up. Thank you, Alex. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good statement that you brought up because choices, again, too many choices. We were not designed like that, people. Back in the day, said, let's think about our ancestors, all of them. They had too many choices, but they had some choices. But didn't have too many choices, and they lived a better quality life than we do now. I know some would beg to differ and say, how could you say that because of this, and that? Let's put all that to the side, quality of life, and lived a little longer because the choices was not. Now we got choices. Our cell phones, ladies and gentlemen, are mini computers. So we got a choice. We got instant gratification. We can get Grubhub to Instacart. So you can get your food and toilet paper delivered at the door. It's too much. With choices. It's just like right now. And instant gratification, Dr. T knows this. It brings on anxiety. Why? Because it's good because it's instant gratification. So it's good in the beginning. And you like, oh, I can get this now. I can get my dry cleaning in 2 hours. I can go to drive through and eat in like less than 10 minutes because I can go to Popeye's Chicken and get some, So instant gratification. But it's going to come a time when you cannot have that. Yes. You hear what I'm putting down? It's going to come a time when you can't because that's not how life is set up. That is a false reality. Society has created instant gratification for us. So it has caused anxiety, which has created depression. What do you think, Dr. D, about instant gratification?
I think you're 100% dead on, because it's like the ketchup and mustard thing situation that people have where they fighting each other, fighting themselves. Which one do I want? What do I like more? What do I want? When it comes to like ordering food and things, and then just trying to make up your mind. Having too many choices, I do agree, will can put you in a state of depression as well as
Mhm.
anxiety. It's like the whole decision making process. If you've been put in a situation in your life where you don't make decisions, you have other people make them for you.
Mhm.
Like let's say like in a relationship, who make the decisions?
Right? I know,
They'll
right?
put you in a whole argument, a whole situation, and it's just like somebody is huffing and puffing, and
Yes.
pretty upset because the other person gonna make it. Well, you just make a decision already, and at this point, things get heated. I mean, it's just yeah. So too many choices. Yes, I agree. Gossip and heifers, you are right. Too many choices. Depression,
Exactly.
Dr. C, you're 100% right too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Too many choices. So that's one of the takes that Dr. T and I would like everyone to take today and pass it on. Y'all just pass it on out there. Too many choices. So next time you are in a situation where there's too many choices, just narrow it down to A or B and go on and pick on A. Go do like I did in college. When it was multiple choice, C, it was C. That's what it is. It's C, so I can get up out this class. If it was multiple choice, I always put C if I ain't study. There you go. Too many choices. Absolutely. That's what I did. My next question
Hmm.
for you, Dr. T, and for the audience as well, and
Hmm.
what is one of the major challenges that you see, and also the audience, that you think people don't go get help or talk to someone when they are or when they feel they are battling
Hmm.
depression? And the reason why I use the word feel, because you can feel depressed and it can be
Hmm.
sadness. Depression and sadness are two different things. They look
Right.
alike, but they totally two different things.
Hmm.
Okay? That's like a
Hmm.
pen and a pencil. They look alike, they do the same thing, but they're two different things. One permanent and one ain't. So sadness and depression are two different things. So
Hmm.
what is you think as the expert, Dr. T, what is one of the reasons, major reasons, why you feel or yeah, people don't go get help when they feel I'm
Hmm.
depressed or I need someone to talk to?
Hmm.
Let's start. Yeah, yeah. And then I have a question to follow up behind that. But let's
Hmm.
start with that one.
I think people feel they feel like people might make fun of them for going to get help. People have a way of humiliating people, for talking to people about other people, professionals, about the problems that they are experiencing. I think because of that, people, you know, start to feel bad and think that, it's wrong, or people like to use the term, oh, you going crazy. And it's just like, no, I need someone to talk to about what's going on. However, when you look at what's going on now, it's like mental health still has the stigma, right? But what's happening is a lot more individuals are now starting to go and seek out for therapists. They are seeking out help and want to talk about the things that they're going through, right? But at the same time, it's it's done in silence. Like it was done in silence in the past, right? But now people, when the celebrities start screaming, "Oh yeah, I'm going to see a therapist." Now, since now it's starting to be glorified, now people are starting to be a little bit more welcoming for it. However, at the same time, we still have those that's like, I'm not doing that. But when you look at the community, when you look at like the African American community in the past, we were told to keep our problems to ourselves, take it to church. What the hell I want to take it to the pastor for? His ass might have problems too.
I
Like,
know, right?
you know.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right on that. I totally agree with you. And you're right when you said about the celebrities, because I was just looking at, I'm just going to digress for a minute. I was looking
Mhm,
this morning that, what's
mhm.
the little girl name? I like her. I call her my niece, Sweetie. I hope I saying her name right.
Okay,
You
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, I just called her a little girl. She the cutest little thing, right? I'm on a
Mhm.
beauty style mama. She was battling with depression. She's battling with something. She said meditation and talking to someone was helping her get out of that. So yeah, it helps. And you're right. A lot of people and someone else wrote. I think Gossip and Heifers wrote. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
People can make you feel bad about seeking
Mhm.
help. Absolutely. And people are
Mhm.
suffering in silence or trying to get help in
Yes.
silence. As you're absolutely right. My take
Mhm.
on that is, yeah, a lot of people are not going to get help because they don't want to realize they need it. Or they don't realize they need it, or they don't want to admit. And then, yes, with yours as well, they are ashamed. A lot of shame, guilt, or I don't want to admit or don't want to accept that something is wrong, or you just need to talk to someone. Because just because you need to talk to someone don't mean something wrong. We all need someone to talk to. You cannot do this by yourself. I say that a lot of times. We all have mental health. All of us don't have a mental illness. People confuse the two. So they feel if I have something, if I feel my soul is interrupted, I need to speak to someone. Okay, something must be wrong. Not necessarily. Because you just need a mental health check, just someone to release, get things off your chest. So I agree with you. That is one of the major things that shame. People don't want to know. They don't want others to know, or others make them feel bad. What can we do about that? Well, of course, having conversations like this, of course, trying to break that stigma one conversation at a time. But I'm going to go out on a limb here because I always play the devil's advocate. So here I am, y'all, about to do it again. I think it starts with self. I think we need to take more accountability for self and say to hell with what other people think, to hell with what they think or feel about me. The best flex and the biggest flex is self care. And one of the greatest things about self care, taking care of your mental and physical health. So go take care of you. Be exceptional to you. So I think if we take more accountability and be more loyal to ourselves, we will get better. What you think about that, Dr. T? And I want to hear from the audience as well.
I think that's good, but here's the thing, right? When you think about, you know, accountability, self-accountability, right? A lot of people don't hold themselves accountable, okay, for a lot of the behaviors that they have, because the thing is, when you think about it, society is about the blame game. Who can I blame things on? And it's just like I think about, people that I know that, when one thing goes wrong in their life that causes them any kind of illness, whether it's physical or mental, the first thing they say is, who did this to me? How did this happen? You can't put the blame game on somebody when you need to go get help for yourself, right? And at the end of the day, things happen. Life happens. Be able to be accept it as it is, and do what you can to make the change. You can't make other people responsible for your illnesses, for depression, for things that's happening to you, because at the end of the day, you're giving them control. Hello.
Absolutely.
When you think about all of the behaviors and all of the different types of emotions that we have, control is the C word that people don't want to address.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Control, that's the C word, and the P word is power.
That's right.
You
Absolutely.
have to take your power back and maintain control of
Yes,
your life.
that's right. And we talked about that last night. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes, you
Yep.
brought that up. That is so true. And I like what Alex wrote, scapegoats. Exactly. People do blame
Hmm.
other people. You have to
Hmm.
take responsibility. So that's why I said I think you're right. A lot of us don't want to take responsibility. I know how to take responsibility for Candace. I take accountability and responsibility.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, those are two different things. Now, again,
Hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, they look alike. Responsibility is that I'm responsible for her and I know it.
Hmm.
Accountability is that when she do what she should and shouldn't do, I'm
Hmm.
accountable for that.
Right.
So totally two different things, and a lot of people don't want to do that. So let me ask
Hmm.
Dr. T and to the audience as well, because you may know this, and if you don't, that's cool. You got Dr.
Hmm.
T and I to bring it to you. What are some of the things, some of the signs and symptoms that may occur when someone is battling with depression and they don't know it. They're like, okay, what does this look like? What's going on? What are some of the signs and symptoms that people should look out for?
Lack of sleep,
Okay, why
you
we think
know,
God put us together? Because that's what I got.
lack of sleep is number one. The
Right?
first thing that go is like, oh my God, I can't sleep at night. We have lack of sleep. We have low energy. We have lack of sleep, low energy, um, not eating enough. We decide that our appetite, we have a loss of appetite, um, lose interest in a lot of the things that gave us joy, such as hobbies, pretty much agitated all the time. And if you're not agitated, you're irritated. And if you're not irritated, you're angry. So these are some of the symptoms that you will experience, and some of the other experiences, having thoughts of death or thoughts of suicide, that also plays a role, in depression, and so when you start having those types of thoughts and types of feelings, that's when it's time to seek some professional help. Come to someone, talk to us, let us know what's going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. I like that. And mine is exactly like Dr. T said stated, lack of sleep. But I'm also going to go with over sleepy. Sometimes you can oversleep. I have Dr. T and I've been doing this a long time, and a lot of people that I counsel that battle with depression, their bed is their best friend, and the enemy is the shower. They just stay in the room and stay in the bed. So they like, I'm oversleepy. Literally, the bed is my best friend, and the enemy has became and the shower. I don't even want to go in that bathroom. So exactly. So you can be either lack of sleep where you battle or suffer from insomnia, or you're sleeping too much. Also, doing too much. And Dr. T, I know you can contest to that as well. You have some people that do too much. What we call team too much. You in everybody business. You ain't handling your business. You in everybody business. You're overdoing. You're overcompensating. That is a sign of depression as well. Because you sound like you're running from something. It can appear that way because you don't want to open up Pandora box, which is you. Because you're projecting. You just like, So you're doing too much. So that's one as well. Overeating. Dr. T said lack of eating. That is true as well. And then sometimes you can overeat. A lot of people, they come to me and they're like, Dr. C, I just been overeating. And then after we get to, and we're trying to find the root, they're depressed and they're overeating, sitting in front of the refrigerator at 3 in the morning. Something that just, you're out of character. You're out of character. You're doing things you usually don't do. So overeating can be one. Dr. T was right. I totally agree with the anger. Anger is one as well, and irritable. Every little thing is getting on your nerve. Somebody breathing, they getting on your nerve because you hear. It's just you what? It's just everything, loss of interest, like she said. And my number one is numb, where you just become numb to things. You start just going through the motions. You shit, shave, and bathe, and that's it. If you doing that, you just going through the motions. You go to work, shit, shave, and bathe, and just, and they like, what's wrong? Nothing. You're just going through the motions. You become numb. So those are some of the signs and then symptoms that I have seen as well with people battling with depression. What are some things that we can leave to the people, Dr. T, for some maybe natural or some things that they could do? We know number one, ladies and gentlemen, that her and I are both going to agree on is talk to someone, get help.
Mm-hmm.
When we say get help, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm not even going to say good help. This is what I'm going to say
Yep.
because when I say get help, I
Mm-hmm.
felt how it rolled off the tongue. When
Right.
you tell someone to get help, some people may take it as something is wrong. And again, we're
Right.
trying to break that stigma. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to apologize. I'm going to change my wording and say, talk to someone, whether it's a close friend and family member that's not toxic. Wait a minute, because you can't talk to everybody. Everybody
Can't help everybody.
everybody.
Mm-mm.
Y'all got Dr. T info and mine. So you may want to talk to someone, but
Mm-hmm.
again, not everybody. So talk to someone. It can be a trusted family and friend that is mentally and emotionally stable enough to
Mm-hmm.
handle what you're getting ready to bring. So it don't always have to be a professional because you just want to release. And then if you talk to them, they may say, I'll go with you, or we can find someone together. So talk to someone. So that's so I know her and I will agree on that. So what do you have for them, Dr. T? Some things that they may can do.
Okay, so some tips that I have for everyone that you can do is number one, journaling. You can write down your thoughts and feelings, write down everything that's going on. That's number one. Number two, exercise. Being able to add an active exercise life that definitely works. You know, number three, I would say would be yoga. Yoga is a good way to, become one with yourself, become aligned with yourself, and gain a better understanding. That silence allows you time to process a lot of things that's going on in your life. Meditation, and it was funny because I was going to put yoga and meditation together, right? But that also helps you, find a particular time throughout the day that's good for you to meditate. For me, I meditate first thing in the morning. As soon as I get up, I take that time, to, say my prayers. That's my time where I meditate and I, have my discussions with God in the morning. Okay. And that's what I do, in the morning. Another way, reading. If you like to read a book or a magazine or something, that can free your mind, from your reality at that moment, because at the end of the day you don't want your reality to ruin your day, and we have to do what we have to do to be able to conquer depression and do what we got to do so that we can be our most productive throughout the day. Make sure you align yourself with positive people. We spend so much time listening to all of the nonsense out there. Sometimes that nonsense energy is not what we need, so definitely be able to clear your mind of all of the discrepancies that's going on out there and all of the indiscretions and the things that's happening out there, and just focus on happy times, happy moments, and just being in a positive mind state. And those are the tips that I have for all of you this evening.
Beautiful. Great tips, Dr. T. I love those. Here are a couple of tips that I have, and I'm going to piggyback off the amazing Dr. T with the journaling because I totally agree. However, everybody don't like to journal, so this is what I have. She's right, journaling, but if you don't like to just write and journal, you can do bullet journaling. So let me give you a little tip about bullet journaling. What I feel, why I feel this way, and after you, so that's it. Bullet journaling. What I feel. So you just write it out. What I feel. I'm pissed, I'm mad, I'm this, I'm that. Then write why I feel that way and why you feel that way. And after you have released and got it out, then the next one is now how I feel now. That is called bullet journal. Very easy, very simple. So she's right with that. And my other tip is social contact. Look, come on now, people. God did not put us all down here to be by ourselves. Social. And I know some of us are, we have social anxiety or we're introverts or whatever, but social contact is so needed. And it will help with depression. Even coming to amazing talks like this and going on Zooms or just interacting with good people, like she stated. Social contact is very important. Do not isolate. Don't do that. The next one is nutrition. Yes, nutrition is very important because you can't sit on the couch all day having Cheetos, even though everybody know a good Cheeto is good. But you can't drink Pepsi and eat Cheetos all day and all the time at White Castle and say, why I'm feeling depressed. You do know what we put in our body affects how we feel mentally and physically. So nutrition is good. So I ain't saying y'all all got to be vegetarian. No, no, no. I'm just saying watch what you eat, but eat good and eat the cake Anna Mae. Go on, eat the cake, but have a piece of cake. Okay? Don't eat all the damn cake because it can affect how you feel. That's so nutrition. Also, unplug. A lot of times when we're on Facebook and Instagram and all this and that, and we're on other people's lives, do know other people's lives can make you feel bad about your life? I'll say that again. I'm going to say it slow. Watching other people's life can have a great effect and make you feel bad about your life. It can do that. Even though some would say, no, it can't, it can, because that is how the brain is designed. Because you will start comparing and saying, especially if it's your peers, why, shoulda, coulda, woulda, why it's not me, should have been me. I could do that. And you start comparing. So learn how to unplug. So that's another one as well. So those are just a couple of things you can do. And also relaxation. Learn how to relax and be still. Be still is number one for me. Just learn how to relax. Yes, learn how to relax. So I like what Alex said. White Castles. Yes. I'm from the D, so we have White Castles on every corner. But you can't eat them every day, Alex. It'll make you feel a certain way. It'll start to affect the nutrition in the brain and our beautiful neurons and everything up there to start to affect. Because depression, everyone, before we wrap up, you do know it's not just what we feel and how we feel. It involves our brain and other organs as well, but especially the brain. So you can feel you can the depression and the feeling could go away in the inside and the feeling, but your brain can be damaged from that. So that's why it's important that you seek help when you start to feel a certain way in the beginning. When you know it, when you know, like you know, that your soul is interrupted and things are not like they should be, and you are not in character, your true character. Speak with someone. And if you're going to speak with a family or friend, like I stated earlier, and Dr. T as well, a trusted family and friend that you trust and love, and that is emotionally and mentally able to take what you bring it to the table because you don't want to have trauma bonding. That's the blind leading the blind. Why the hell you talking to that family member and friend and they just as messed up as you are? Y'all going through the same thing. That's trauma bonding. By the way, we're going to do a talk on that one. There you go. So you kind of don't want to do that. And if you do, excuse me, seek a therapist, remember, culturally competent and responsive, someone that can relate to you and someone that you feel comfortable with. So those are my tips. So, Dr. T, what is your closing statement for this day?
My closing statement for today is, do what you can to stay in a happy and peaceful mindset. We know life happens and things, may not be the way you want it to be, but know that you have people out here, such as myself and Dr. Candace, that's available and ready to support each and every one of you. And finding a therapist is like finding a mate because everybody's not for everybody, right? So you just have to, take your time and find the right person that will work with you and that is right for you, And so that's my final words.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. I like that. Finding a therapist is like finding a mate. I know, right? You got to go on a couple of dates before you find the right one. Absolutely.
Girl,
Yes. I love that. I'm going to steal that, Dr. T. That's right.
go ahead. Yeah.
I'm
Child, when I say it all the time, people be looking at me like I'm crazy. They be like, that
true.
sounds creepy. No,
It's
it's not
not.
creepy. That's what it is because you're trying to find a mate.
That's right.
Get this person is, so we need to,
Absolutely.
understand
Absolutely.
that this is exactly what it is.
That's right. That's right. It's a beautiful thing. So take care of your mind, your body, and soul,
Mm-hmm.
and check on you. It's okay to check on you. Don't have no one
Yes.
tell you that it's not. Check on
Yes.
yourself, and then check on your loved ones. Check on your strong friends. And next time somebody call you strong, tell them don't bring that false narrative to you.
That's
That's
right.
false. I mean, of course, we all are. However, when people say that, that's like, oh, so that's a door, that's like an open door that you can
Mm-hmm.
take in everything.
Right.
Check on yourselves, everyone, and take care of your mind, body, and soul. That's my closing argument for today. Yeah, I call it a closing argument for today. Absolutely. This was a great show. I enjoyed my
Yes.
time today. What about you, Dr. T?
It was good. It was a very good show today. So
Yes.
before we close out, I want to make sure everybody knows to watch Dr. Candace's evening. I'm gonna run her ad so y'all can see exactly what we got.
Yes,
Yes, we
I
got
love
all things relationships this
it.
evening
Yes, come
at
on through,
6:30
everybody.
PST on Instagram. So y'all make sure y'all come through and watch that this evening. Yes, that's
And
gonna
we
be
talking about
awesome.
love languages. Oh, this is going to be good.
Ooh. You know what? That is going to be good. You know why? Because a lot of people don't know what their love language is.
Yes, I know mine, and I can't wait to
Mhm.
get into it tonight. It's gonna be
I know.
fun.
I can't wait to join y'all watching that. Lord knows, because I want.
Yes,
Yeah, I
come on
know
through.
mine.
Yeah, you and Rocky be my partner on all things relationship. Yeah, I got
Yes, we
co-host.
co-hosts. We co-hosts.
I got co-host. So I'm hoping Rocky ain't busy, honey, because I got co-host.
We got a co-host tonight. We got a co-host job tonight.
I know, right?
Alex said he might be there, but he may be drunk.
That's all right.
But
Come on
that's
through.
okay. Come as you are. Look, they say come as you are, Alex.
That's
Come
right.
as you are.
We grown
And it
folks.
is
Come on through.
a-okay. Come as you are. So
Yes.
next week's show, we're going to be talking about anxiety. And here's our ad.
Love it.
That I'm ready to dance.
I know, right?
Well, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on this last Friday of February
It sure is.
2022.
I just looked at
Ooh,
the calendar. It sure is. It's the last
yes,
Friday.
225. So I want everyone to have an awesome weekend, and we'll be back again next week to talk to all of you. Dr. Candace, is always a pleasure.
Of course, of course. Thank you, everyone. Please, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe and tell your friends, tell everybody. Again, I am Dr. Candace Elaine. That is my beautiful, beautiful colleague and co host, Dr. T. And we thank you so much for joining us.